What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video I'm going to be giving my predictions and break down my quick picks for UFC Fight Night Obama versus Cannonier. It's a great, absolute badass fight, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you, kid, Jared Cannonier might be 40, but let me tell you, this kid is badass. And let me tell you about this kid, Barack Obama. This kid's nasty. He's got bombs. But I'm going to be discussing all the fights. I'm going to run through the early irrelevant fights that no one cares about. But yeah, it's a good fight night. I didn't want to do these picks on my main channel. I need an excuse to upload on my second channel as well. So yeah, subscribe to my second channel and you won't miss any other videos. And I might start uploading more here, provide some more content. So those videos that I've just like quick, maybe 10-15 minute vids, pump out on the second channel, I could do that a lot more here. Let me know what other vids you guys want to see on this channel. But anyway, let's get into it, and we're going to start off with the first fight on the card. So we got this old grandma, Julia Avila versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. I'm going to be picking Jacqueline Cavalcanti to win. I'm not going to give a breakdown. I don't care. What's her name? Fucking Avila lost to Misha Tate at like the age of like 42, so that's just washed. But also, I'll just give a quick mention. My picks right now this year going pretty good so far, going pretty well. Running at 69% this year, and the locks, which I've given 8 of so far, are running at 75%. Obviously, Giussette and Giussette and Cody Steele, who really shouldn't have been locks. I don't know why I locked them. I was trying to stat pad and it didn't work out. But those two brought me down. But apart from that, I hit all 3 on the Saudi card, and I hit my other 3 locks on UFC 312. So I've got 5 locks, I believe, in today's card, or for this weekend's card, I should say. Avila is one of Cavalcanti is one of them. She should win. She's better everywhere. Let's move on, and she's not 50. Let's move on to the next fight. Next up, we got Walter Walker versus Don'Tale Mayes. Now, why the fuck am I making a -200 Walter Walker, who lost his debut to Lucas Bershke and only has beaten Junior Tough for a lock? That's a great question. Let me tell you, kid, I don't know the answer to that one. That's a good. We're gonna look into that on Tuesday. That's a question for Tuesday, kid. Look, this could age terribly, or this could age really well. I mean, it's more likely to age terribly, because even if Walter Walker wins, like, he's probably gonna look shit, and everyone's gonna be like, why are you locking this dude? I'm sorry, bro. Hamdi Abdulwahab is not a fucking good fighter, and he ragdolled Don'Tale Mayes in the grappling. Don'Tale Mayes got taken down not just in the first round, in the second and third round by Shamil Gaziev. Like, all jokes aside, that is fucking embarrassing. He got taken down by Cyril Gane, fucking D1 Gane. He's been taken down by basically anyone who's tried. So I'm just not gonna fucking back Don'Tale Mayes, who is just clumsy as fuck. He's 11-7 in the UFC, 11-7 as a pro, 4-5 in the UFC. Absolute fucking disgrace. Has been subbed by other guys. Got heel hooked by Gane. Walker actually heel hooked Tough in his last fight, so I could see a leg lock submission. I could also just see a easy choke, because he has been subbed before by other fighters. But yeah, I don't know. I just think Don'Tale Mayes is awful, and despite being ranked, do not let that fool you. He is god awful and shouldn't be in the UFC. Let's move on. He beat Caio Machado in his last fight by decision. So there's not even like but he could KO Walter Walker. Like, I think Walter Walker, who it was shown against Bershke that anytime he shoots takedowns, even if he's tired as fuck, he can just get them. And Mayes is fat, so I don't think he'll get back up. Anyway, let's move on to the next fight. Next up, we got Vince Morales versus Elijah Smith. Now, let me tell about this kid, Elijah Smith. I got no fucking clue who he is. No, I know he fought on Contender Series against that Maori dude, who had the fucking face tat, the weird tattoo on his chin or whatever. He beat that guy, looked pretty good in the first 2, survived the third on the feet. I think he's a more dominant grappler. I don't know. I'm going to pick him to win, I guess. And this is what we're starting to see is I'm going to start backing Contender Series prospects that aren't undefeated. That might be the best base to be a prospect. That's why I'm so confident in Kevin Vallejos or in Gene Silva or Prates. These guys that have already lost, I feel like they actually are further along in their game and they know what they're doing. Rather than these guys like fucking Cody Steele, who just come on and just be retarded and don't know what they're doing and think too highly of themselves. Even though I think these other guys who have losses are better, they know that they've got limitations, but they also know that they know what losing feels like, so they also know how to overcome it. And so I back that as a base. And Elijah Smith, I'm pretty sure, is not undefeated. So I'm going to pick him to win. based on that reason, and based on the reason that I do think his upside is better than Vince Morales, who's a bit of a vet. He's a bit of a bum. He's not a bum. Like he's won some. He got cut from the UFC, won some fights on the regional scene. He's basically a budget Zalal in the sense that he went on a bit of a losing streak in the UFC, got cut, came back after a good run on the regional scene. Except this time he hasn't gone on a run again. He just lost to Taylor Lapillus. So I don't know. I think Morales is kind of mid. Elijah Smith. I think he's got upside. He's got good takedowns, good grappling. So I'm going to back him to get the win here with his wrestling. Let's move on, though, to the next fight. Next up, we got Gabriel Bonfim versus Chaos Williams. Now, I do not mind the idea of a Chaos Williams underdog. But in my opinion, I don't want to just be picking guys as like underdogs based on like he has KO potential, because I don't think Bonfim is like overly chinny. I think he's lost to Dalby, his lone loss in his career, which again, I am now starting to think that's honestly beneficial. Like, most guys go undefeated for a little bit, they lose brutally, and then they go on a skid, or they just look mid after that. These guys who've lost already on the regional scene, or have had a loss in the UFC, it's like, alright, I back that. Bonfim lost to Dalby, he rebounded, he's like, alright, I can't just run everyone over, because he got 2 like 1 minute guillotines in his fights before that. So he's probably gone back, being like, alright, I can't just run everyone over, I gotta bide my time, gotta work my range kickboxing a bit more, work the pressure grappling a bit more, not just try and go for fluky guillotines. And I back, even though Chaos Williams cracks, like, he KO'd Carlston Harris. Like, this dude is not some Ilya Topuria level fucking puncher. Like, he KO'd Carlston Harris. I think he KO'd, who the fuck else did he KO? He KO'd someone else, but like, this dude went to the cards with Rolando Bedoya. Like, that's a bad look, in my opinion. Like, I really don't rate that as a look, to go to a fucking decision with, like, the Randy Brown fight that was competitive. He looked okay, looked solid, but like, he's had one fight in 2024. You KO'd Carlston House in May. Like, where have you been? You got a round 1 KO. Before that, he also beat Bedoya in May by decision. This dude's just taken a year off in between fights. Before that, another fight. This dude's had 3 fights in a row in fucking May, and he hasn't even taken that much damage in all of them, and he's somehow still managing to take a year off in his fucking fights. He KO'd Miguel Baeza, and he KO'd fucking Carlston Harris, bro. So I don't know, and he KO'd Abdul Razak Al Hassan. That's not bad, but I don't know. I don't think his power is like that dangerous to the level where he's just going to lay out Bonfim in round 1. Maybe it is. I think Bonfim's striking is better than people give it credit for. I think people are like, oh, he's just some fluke grappler who got exposed last time because he couldn't work his grappling. I think the Orange Lusa fight was not unbelievably dominant, but it was comfortable. It was a good bounce back, and I think he can do that again here. And a similar sort of archetype fighter, a bit more power than Orange Lusa. But I don't know how well Chaos Williams is going to defend the grappling, or even I think he could just get outstruck on the feet. So I'm going to go with Bonfim. Let's move on though to the next fight. Next up, we got Jesus Aguilar versus Rafael Estevam. I'm going to pick Estevam. He's got a 7.5 inch reach advantage, and he's got good offensive wrestling, and he's got the ability to take the back and get that body triangle, and that's what happens to Aguilar in his fight with Mateus Mendonça, who is a bigger guy than him, a guy who had a similar reach advantage, a guy who had the ability to control him on the grounds, but somehow, even though I thought he clearly won the fight, was robbed. So I'm going to pick Estevam. Ragdolling Charles Johnson for 2 rounds is impressive. Yes, he gassed in the third and got beaten up a bit, but he still won. And Charles Johnson's a much better striker than Aguilar, also not a midget for the division. Aguilar's a fucking manlet. He's got a 62 inch reach. I'm not fucking picking a man with a 62 inch reach to win a fight. Doesn't matter what division it's in. You could be in fucking atomweight, and I'm still not picking you with that reach. Let's move on though to the next fight. Next up, Jared Gordon versus Maragajaman Ruzaboev. I'm not trying to fucking pronounce this dude's surname or first name. I don't. Marashabalan Ruzaboev. I don't know. He's the brother of Nasultan Ruzaboev, who just dropped an absolute banger of a tweet saying, "I know you guys have been waiting for some black action. News soon," because apparently his fighter name is Black for whatever reason. He's Uzbek. I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, he's giving us some black action soon, guys, according to his Twitter. So keep an eye out. That's an absolute fuck. I don't know who fucking tweeted that on his account, but they should take that down. Anyway, let me tell about this kid Ruzaboev. He's actually the biggest fucking can crusher ever, and it's something that I noticed with all of these Middle Eastern, all these Kazakh, some of the like Uzbek, Tajik, all these guys. Some of them are good, right? I'm not denying that these guys have talent. Like, there's a lot of talented fighters, and he could be one of them. What's his name? Mashrabjan Ruzabov, apparently, is his name. But I'm gonna read out the fucking resume of this dude's opponents. I'm sorry, bro. Like, it's actually abominable how can-crushing this dude is. Let me find his opponent. And I'm picking Jared Gordon. Have I watched any tape on this dude? No. Whenever I see these fights, I just check the guy's record and I'll be like, okay, do you look somewhat promising or are you an unbelievable can crusher? So let me read out this dude. Alright, listen to this, guys. Okay, last win in 2023, by the way, so over a year ago. 8-9 opponent. Before that, it was a 20-11. Before that, it was a 12-17. Before that, it was a 16-14. Before that, it was a 2-0, an 0-2, an 0-0. Before that, his loss was to an 11-2 guy, so coincidentally, the one dude with a fucking winning record he lost to. Before that, 22-22, 3-1. Again, a loss before that to a 15-4. A win over an 0-7, 0-0, 0-0, 0-0, 0-0, 0-0. A loss to a 1-0 guy. I'm not fucking picking this can crusher to win. He's got 4 losses, and I know I said having losses pre-UFC can be good. That's if it's like you then look drastically improved since then. I don't know how improved this guy is, but again, he's beating absolute fucking cans, and his losses are anyone half decent. Like, it's not like he's losing to some undefeated monsters who are now in the UFC. He's just losing to other solid guys who aren't complete bums, who are probably other can crushers over in those fucking Uzbek scenes. Anyway, I'm picking Gordon to win. Let's move on. Hopefully he doesn't get robbed. It's not in the Middle East though, so he should be fine. Let's move on though to the next fight. Next up, Angela Hill, Ketlin Souza. Now this is an interesting one, and this is one where originally I was like, what the fuck? Because Angela Hill, I think she opened at like minus 300. Like, that's too wide, obviously. And I've seen some other people being like, I don't know why these odds are so close. They should be further for Souza. And I'm just like, Are we acting like this? Okay, I know she's lesbian and Brazilian and she looks like a dude, so that is a very good base to beat people who we know are women. Like, I'm very sure Angela Hill's a woman. I've seen the behind. Definitely a woman. She's got some curves back there. At 40. At the ripe old age of 40. No. But, Ketlin Souza, this is not some undefeated monster. And also, we've seen this before. I've been baited into it before, picking a butch lesbian Brazilian who looks like a dude. To beat Angela Hill at an older age, right? Like, it happened on the Sao Paulo card, end of 2023, on the Almeida Lewis card. She fought Denise Gomez, who coincidentally was also coming off a 20-second fucking KO over Yasmin Hauregui. Beating Yasmin Hauregui in the first round doesn't mean you're good, it just means you're lesbian and have power. That doesn't then also translate to you beating fucking Angela Hill. In my opinion. Ketlin Souza's solid, but again, she's got losses. She's not some undefeated prospect. She's not steamrolling everyone. She went to a fucking decision with Marnik Man, who's a bum. So, I don't know. I think Angela Hill can do enough. Maybe it is difficult. And again, I would probably pick against her against most ranked fighters. I don't think Ketlin Souza's ranked level. I think she's solid, but again, cool, you KO'd Yasmin Hauregui, jumped on her back and subbed her. Brilliant. Like, I don't know how much I value that. Let me again look up this girl's record, because she's been finished as well. This is not some granite shin fighter. I'm not saying Angela Hill's going to finish her, but Angela Hill typically throws some good output, and if she doesn't get taken down, and if she doesn't just get clinched against the fence the whole time, she can usually look good enough for the judges. Because I will say, her record is absolutely fucking stinky as shit. But a lot of those, like, there's like 4 or 5 straight robberies here. But like, this girl, Ketlin Souza, right? She's lost to, let me read it. She lost by sub in round 1 to Corrine Silva. She lost by round 1 KO to Dayan Cardso in the regional scene. She lost by round 3 TKO to Ariane Carnelosi, who's a UFC fighter who's not good. And she got subbed in the first. She's been finished in the first round 4 times. Now, is Angela Hill a finisher? No. But again, is Ketlin Souza a proven 3-round workhorse? No. And I don't know, she's mid. Why am I spending so much time on women's MMA? Let's move on. Next up, Jose Delgado versus Conor Matthews. I'm picking Jose Delgado for one reason. He didn't get finished by Denis Bajukha. Has he fought Denis Bajukha? No. But would I pick him to get finished by Denis Bajukha, who's a can and has been fucking finished by anyone good? No, I would not pick him to lose to Denis Bajukha. Conor Matthews did. Conor Matthews got finished by Denis the Bum Bajukha. And that's an awful look. Let me tell you, that's a terrible look. This kid's an absolute can. after the GFLU, buddy. But no, I don't know. Jose Delgado, I watched his fight on Contender Series. I rewatched it today. He looked solid-ish. Like, his defense is a bit questionable. But Conor Matthews, bro, he lost his first Contender Series fight to Francis Marshall by decision. Francis Marshall's a fucking 500 level mid-fighter, right? Lost that. Then he gets another chance. Then I think he went off and did some random shit on the regional scene for a bit. Gets another chance, wins by decision. Like, didn't even get a finish, wins by decision, gets a contract. Not sure why, because Dana has been so stingy on giving other people contracts. He gave this bum a fucking contract for a mid-decision. And then he gets smoked in round 3 and finished by Bazooka. I'm not picking him to win. Jose Delgado has aura. He's got a tattoo saying Memento Mori, which means remember you will die. That's enough for me. That's the level of breakdown you're getting. Man has a cool slogan on it. Man has a tattoo in Latin that translates to some cool shit. I'm picking him to win. Let's move on to the next fight. Next up, we got Rodolfo Vieira versus Andre Petroski. I'm going to be picking Rodolfo Vieira. This is going to be a pretty much pure grappling match. And even in the stand-up, I just don't rate Petroski's stand-up at all. Like, I think there's like an assumption that Vieira is just an absolute bum on the feet. Like, he was competitive enough with Chris Curtis. Like, he didn't get absolutely schooled from memory. Like, he lost. But I'm pretty sure that was a decision, I assume, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check this. But other, we have to check this. Wait. It was a decision, I'm pretty sure. He just failed a bunch of takedowns because Curtis has good takedown defense. But I don't even know if he needs to get takedowns. Like, he could either outstrike Petroski on the feet, in my opinion, or Petroski takes him down. He could just fucking reverse him. He could submit him off bottom. Like, should he be playing bottom in this fight? No. But do I think Petroski's grappling to the point... Like, okay, Petroski's... Who's he out-grappled? Like, he... Wellington Turman. He beat fucking... Dylan Budka. And he beat Josh Fremd. Like, those are some absolute bum-level fucking fighters. I don't know if... Like, Budka's about to lose to Shabazian. I don't know if any... Like, let me just... Chris Curtis was a UD. But, Budka's going to get cut if he loses this weekend. Turman's already cut. And who's the other one? I think Fremd also got cut. So he's got no fucking, like, good wins over, like, current fighters. I just don't rate him at all. Like, dude got KO'd by Jacob Melkun's hip. And then before that he got slept badly by Michel Pereira. That's fair. That's not going to happen in this fight. But I don't know. I think Vieira's grappling's a little bit better. Am I confident? No. Is this a lock? No. But do I think he wins? Yes. So let's move on to the next fight. Next up, Ismail Bonfim versus Nazim Sadikov. It's a close fight. It is a close fight. These odds were down at like minus 130 Bonfim. And I was like, oh, maybe there's some people that try and be cheeky and play Nazim as a dog and we get some like even odds by fight day. It's just ballooned up to like minus 200 Bonfim, which is retarded. And I don't think it should be that wide because Bonfim did look mid against Vince Pichel. But I am going to pick him to win. I do think he's got the higher upside. We didn't see Sadikov in 2024. Not sure where he's at. What's he doing? No one knows. Before that, he had a fun fight, a bit of a war with one fight of the night contender with Vyacheslav Borshchev. Fight of the year, not fight of the year, but like up top 10, top 15 fights of the year with Vyacheslav Borshchev. But respectfully, that draw has not aged well. Like, Borshchev just lost pretty cleanly to Tom Nolan. Like, you kind of shouldn't be making a scrap with Borshchev where you're struggling and getting the pace pushed on you in the third. From memory, I think that's how that fought. I think Sadikov dropped Borshchev bad round 2, 10-8'd him round 2. Borshchev won the first and third. Like, it's really not the best look to scrape a draw based off kind of a fluke knockdown in round 1. So, in round 2, sorry. So, I don't know. I'll pick one for him. Yes, he lost to BSD. Not an awful look. Apart from that, he beat up McKinney the whole time. Like, normally the thing is with McKinney is he comes out, has a bunch of success, look like he's about to beat you, and then you come back and win. That's what happened with Sadikov. Sadikov was like, getting out-grappled beyond belief, almost subbed at moments, and then he comes back and gets a submission in round 2. Bonfim just beat him up the whole time, flying knee KO'd him in round 2. So I rate that a little bit higher. Bit of MMA math for you. Again, this is a fucking coin flip. I don't know. Who cares? Odds shouldn't be this wide. So value-wise, no chance I'm betting on Bonfim money line. But anyway, let's move on to the next fight. Next up, Edmund Shabazian versus Dylan Budka. I ain't fucking picking Dylan Budka, bro. This dude's nickname is the Mindless Hulk. He's fucking mindless, bro. Like, this dude's got nothing going on in his brain. You can see it by looking at him. He's awful. Again, the fucking wrestling credentials continue to be exposed by, like, basically every fucking American wrestler that comes through. Dude was like some junior national champion or some shit, I don't know. And he looked mid, and Cesar Almeida stuffed his takedowns. That's a fucking disgraceful look. Cesar Almeida stuffed his takedowns, beat him up. What happened after that? Petrosky just took him down a bunch. That's expected, I guess. He's fighting Shabazian here. Like, he got out-grappled. Grappling your thing, and then Petrosky just took you down, lay on you. His striking is god-awful. He's mid as fuck. If Shabazian cannot beat him, he should retire. Because Shabazian has proven to, like, okay, you can't lose to basically the top guys. And then, yeah, he had a loss to GM3. But again, all Shabazian fights, like, he's beaten these guys up. If he can't finish Dylan Budka, pack it up. GFL with you. Anyway, let's move on to the co-main event. Kelvin Keita versus Yusuf Zalal. I'm going to be picking Zalal. Your man Zalal. He's going to get the win here, I do believe. Keita is just a bit too far on the wrong side of cooked. You know, he's a bit past it, a little bit washed. Looked pretty fucking awful against Aljo. Now, is there a very solid chance that he comes out there and just sort of fraud checks Zalal and just says, like, hang on, me losing to Aljo isn't that bad of a look. You're not Aljo. Like, yes, and should Zalal be a massive fucking favourite? No, but he's improving. Keita's declining. That's the main thing. It's the same thing with the main event. I think most people are picking Gregory, Rodrigues, because again, Cannonier's declining, he's improving. Same thing in the co-main here. You got two established, older, late 30s, 40 for Cannonier versus like the vets that are trying to hold their spot, you know, gatekeep against guys outside the rankings. Zalal, again, on the come up, improving rapidly on a 3-fight finish streak in the UFC. Again, not against the best of opposition. No one he's fought apart from Ilya, or no one he's beat, I should change that to, is even close to Keita's, prime Keita's level. But we're not going to be seeing prime Keita here, I don't think. There is a very solid chance of a Keita upset. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. So why am I putting Zalal as a lock? I'm not sure. But I don't know. I just think he can get takedowns, maybe even sub him. I think Keita can be tough enough to sort of avoid the submission, but I just think he's going to get taken down too much, be a bit hesitant. Again, the knees, he's got injuries, probably not going to hold up as well. Would I back him? Am I going to be surprised if fucking Keita gets injured in the fight? No. So yeah, all the advantages, the intangibles just go to Zalal, and I do think he's stylistically with the grappling can do well here. Anyway, let's move on to the main event. Main event time, ladies and gentlemen, the United States. This evening, the US military has conducted an operation that has killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda. Gregory Rodrigues, I can't remember the whole speech. I actually watched it before this because I was going to put it in as like a clip and do an edit, but I couldn't be fucked. Maybe if he wins, I'll drop a Robocop Obama edit. Let me know if you want to see that. But I'm picking Obama to win via drone strikes TKO. He's going to drop some bombs on Cannonier, you know, some real explosive action. Some real high artillery. I said high artillery? Yeah. Heavy artillery is what I'm supposed to say there. Heavy artillery. I'm recording this at 4 a.m. My sleep schedule's cooked. But Cannonier, I just think, again, it's a guy who in his prime, yeah, would probably beat Rodrigues pretty easily. But Rodrigues cracks, he hits hard, he KOs people, he's very good, and he's got grappling to fall back on if he needs to. Like, if Cannonier's just outstriking him at range, just shoot a fucking double leg. You're in the small cage. He'll get Cannonier down. I do think he can start beating him up from top. I don't know. Again, the main and co-main both do have chances for sort of these, like, people forget, like, you must have forgot moments. People forget, man, prime Cannonier was nasty. Dude KO'd Jack Hermanson. Like, he's got some good finishes, right? But we just haven't seen Cannonier look that good in a while. Like, cool, you beat up on the punching bag Marvin Vettori. Congrats. He's the middleweight punching bag. He's a fucking beating for hire. Like, that's what Vettori is. And then, I don't know, apart from that, back-to-back, I'm going to say back-to-back finishes, the Borrello fight. This is what I mean when it says you can't just look at the on-paper result, like, oh, TKO from Mamavov, decision from Borrello. He took 10 times more fucking damage in the Borrello fight just in the 5th round alone than he did from the Mamavov stoppage. So, am I going to back him to be improving in his game? No. Am I going to back his chin to show up fucking rejuvenated? No. It's not a really, really quick turnaround, but still, like, I don't know, September, October, November, December, January, February. It's a 5-month, 6-month turnaround, so at least he's taken some time off, but he took a lot of damage in the Borrello fight, and again, he's 40. He's 40! Dress your fucking age. I don't know, Robocop, Obama, he cracks, and it's just tough to look past. It is a bit of bias, because if you look at the actual like skill sets, I do think Cannonier is still a way better striker, and he hasn't been subbed in his career. But he looks mid a lot in fights. He gets tentative at moments too. If he goes in the fire and just trades, I don't think he comes out better on that. And if he backs up trying to be technical, I think Robocop's just going to walk him down and crack him and put him down. So I'm going to pick Robocop by TKO. I'll say round 2 after a sort of feeling out process in round 1 where maybe Cannonier's looking like he's getting the better of it. Obama just comes out and says, fuck that. We're going to just be aggressive. We're going to go full out all Middle Eastern attack. A war in the Middle East type shit and just drop bombs. So that's what I'm going to pick. Obama by TKO round 2. That'll do it though, guys. Hope you enjoyed the picks. I'll make the second channel a consistent place for prediction videos if I'm not doing them on the main. Like, I'll probably keep main channel prediction videos for just the pay-per-views, and I reckon for the fight nights I'll drop them over here. I'll probably drop some reactions as well over here to the cards, or some prospect spotlights, or some just divisional videos or something like that on this channel. So let me know some more videos you guys would like to see. And apart from that, peace out, subscribe and all that. Follow my socials, Instagram, Twitter, Left Lane MMA, and goodbye.